Hey there, are you looking at the computer hardware part of the IC3 Spark exam and kinda scratching your head? Yeah, it can feel like a lot, but you're in exactly the right spot. Today, we're gonna crack that code together. We're gonna peek inside the computer, figure out how to pick the right machine for you, and see how all those bits and pieces actually talk to each other. We're gonna make it simple, clear, and you know what? Maybe even a little fun. All right, let's just dive right in.
So you might be thinking, stories? Why stories? Well, it's actually pretty cool how our brains work. We're just wired for stories. When you hear a story, your brain lights up and the information just sticks, way better than a boring list of facts. And that's exactly what you need for this exam, right? Think of the IC3 Spark as your launch pad. You get these fundamentals down and you're building a solid base for those bigger certifications you might be aiming for, like the CompTIA A+. So yeah, let's build that foundation and have a good time doing it.
Okay, here's the game plan for today. First up, we're diving into the guts of the computer. Then, we'll figure out how to choose the right digital tool for you. After that, we'll see how computers talk to all their stuff. And we'll wrap it all up with a final exam cheat sheet. Sound good? Let's do this.
All right, let's get into our first section, the guts of your computer. We're going to go right inside the machine and get to know the three most important parts that make everything work. Okay, so I've got to tell you this story about my buddy in college. Picture this. It's like 4 in the morning. He's been up all night, chugging coffee, writing this huge 10-page paper. He's finally done, feeling like a genius. And then the power blinks, just for a second. The screen goes black. When it comes back on, poof. The paper is just gone. Forever. Oh man, he learned a really, really tough lesson that night about how a computer's memory works. So what in the world happened to my friend's paper? Well, he got totally ambushed by the difference between RAM and storage. Let's break this down. First, you've got the CPU. That's the brain, the thing doing all the heavy lifting and thinking. Then you've got RAM. Now, RAM is like your desk. It's the computer's short-term memory, and it holds everything you're working on right this second. His paper was sitting right there on the desk. But then there's storage. You know, your hard drive or your SSD. That's the filing cabinet. That's long-term memory. You have to actually tell the computer, hey, take this paper off my desk and put it in the filing cabinet. And you do that by hitting save. He never hit save.
And this really nails the difference. RAM is temporary. It's super fast, perfect for working on stuff. But if the power goes out, it's gone, wiped clean. Storage, on the other hand, is permanent. It keeps your files safe and sound, even if the computer's off. So the big takeaway here, save your work, all the time. Move it from the temporary desk, that's the RAM, into the permanent filing cabinet, that's your storage. Please, don't be like my friend.
Okay, so let's try a question you might actually see on the exam. A computer's speed and its ability to run a bunch of programs at the same time is most affected by its what? Is it A, the size of your storage, B, the amount of RAM, or C, the size of your monitor? Just think back to that desk analogy. And the answer is B, the amount of RAM. This is such a perfect way to think about it. More RAM is literally like having a bigger desk. If you have a tiny little desk, you can maybe work on one thing before it gets all cluttered and slow. But if you have a massive desk, you can have your laptop, your textbooks, your notebooks, all spread out, and you can switch between them super fast. The storage size? That's just a bigger filing cabinet. And the monitor size? Well, that just lets you see more stuff. Neither one actually helps you do more things at once like RAM does. So now we know what's going on inside the computer. Let's move on to the next part, choosing your digital tool. Because once you know the parts, it makes it so much easier to pick the right device for what you need to do. Oh, this makes me think of my cousin. He's a photographer, right? So he shoots this gorgeous wedding, has all this incredible 4K video footage, and on the 6-hour bus ride home, he thinks, hey, I'll start editing this on my tablet. Bad idea. It was a complete disaster. The app just kept crashing. The video was all choppy and stuttering. He got so mad he almost chucked the thing right out the bus window. He just had the totally wrong tool for a really demanding job. And this chart here, it explains this problem perfectly. Look at a desktop. You can't take it on a bus, right? So low portability, but it's got high power. That would have been perfect for his 4K video editing. Now his tablet was the exact opposite. Super portable, but way lower power. It's awesome for watching Netflix, but for editing high-res video, not so much. A laptop is that sweet spot in the middle, you know? A good balance of power, and you can still take it with you. And of course, your smartphone is the most portable of all, but it has the least power for those really big, heavy-duty tasks. All right, another exam-style question for you. And this is a really common situation. A student needs a computer. They're writing papers, surfing the internet, and they have to carry it to class every single day. What's the best balance of power and portability for them? A desktop, a laptop, or a smartphone? And yup, the answer is B, a laptop. It just makes sense, right? A desktop, you can't carry that to class. A smartphone? I mean, have you ever tried to write a long paper on a tiny phone screen? No thanks. The laptop is the perfect tool for a student. It's got enough power for all your schoolwork, it has a real keyboard, but it's still light enough to throw in your bag. It's all about picking the right tool for the job you actually need to do. Okay, moving right along. So we've got the right computer. Now, how do we get it to talk to everything else? This next part is all about connecting stuff. You know, keyboards, printers, all that good stuff. So remember my friend, the one who lost his 10-page paper? Well, his adventures with technology did not end there. He goes out and buys this fancy new printer. He gets it home, plugs the USB cable in, and nothing. He tries to print, silence. He's convinced it's broken. So he calls tech support and they ask him one simple question. Did you install the driver? And my friend, bless his heart, just says, what? What's a driver?
So before we solve the mystery of the driver, let's just quickly talk about what he was trying to connect. Basically, anything you plug into your computer is called a peripheral device. And they come in two flavors. You've got input devices. These send information into the computer. Think about it. A keyboard types letters in. A mouse sends clicks in. A microphone sends your voice in. Then you have output devices. These get information out of the computer. Your monitor shows you pictures out. Your speakers play sound out. And his printer? It was supposed to put his document out onto paper.
And here is the secret step my friend totally missed. When you connect something new, it's pretty simple. Step 1, you connect the cable. Step 2, turn it on. But step 3 is the magic part. You have to install the driver. Just think of a driver as a translator. Your computer speaks one language and your new printer speaks a completely different language. The driver is the special piece of software that stands in the middle and translates for them so they can finally understand each other and get to work. Okay, quiz time. Let's see if you've got this. You plug in a brand new webcam, but your computer just doesn't see it. It can't find it. What's the most likely piece of software you need to install? Is it A, an operating system, B, a web browser, or C, a device driver? And of course, the answer is C, a device driver. That's it exactly. Your operating system, Windows or Mac OS, it's the main boss of the computer, but it can't possibly know how to talk to every single printer and webcam ever made. The driver is that special little translator that you install to teach the operating system how to communicate with that specific new gadget. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's wrap this all up with a quick review. This is your final exam cheat sheet. These are the key things you really want to lock in before you take that test. All right, you ready? Let's do a super quick rapid-fire review. What's the CPU? It's the brain. What's RAM? That's your short-term memory, your desk. What's storage? That's your long-term memory, the filing cabinet. Input devices? They send data in. Output devices? They get data out. And a driver? It's the translator software. Now for my absolute #1 tip for the exam. Read the question carefully. I'm serious. The answer is almost always hiding in the details. If you see words like speed or running many programs, your brain should immediately scream RAM. If it's about connecting a new thing that doesn't work, you should think driver. The clues are right there. So there you have it. We've basically taken a computer apart and put it all back together again. You now get the fundamental pieces that make all of our modern technology work. So the real question isn't about the parts anymore, it's about you. Now that you know how it works, what are you going to build? What problems are you going to solve? Because this is just the first step. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and seriously, good luck on your journey. You got this.